I'm Sofia Houh. I'm a third-year furniture design student at RIT, and I also make miniatures. I've been woodworking for about 3 years since I'm a third year, but my grandpa taught me how to carve when I was about 13. This is my 4th-scale model of my chair. It's inspired by Japanese architecture. I was thinking a lot about how I grew up practicing Buddhism and how the practice of meditation, you have to sit on your knees. So I thought this is the perfect design to sit on my knees and chant. I was also thinking about what is something that would feel comforting and encapsulating, so that's why I sort of made the armrest kind of come down and out. My lamp is inspired by Venice houses, and the project for the lamp was to take a found object and make a lamp out of it. So I was thinking about the snack room downstairs. There's a bunch of snacks, and I like collecting boxes. My favorite medium used to be cardboard and working with cardstock and stuff. So I took a bunch of boxes from downstairs and I just started collecting them, and I made this out of it. I think it took me about maybe 100 hours. So my series is a self-portrait exploring solitude as a space for honesty, stillness, and identity. This is just a documentation of thoughts and moments I cycle throughout my day-to-day. The idea stemmed from me asking myself the question, who am I when I'm not being perceived by anyone, when I'm just sort of alone with myself? So I can talk about the bathroom scene first. I think that looking in the mirror each morning is something that is kind of hard for me. It's something I have to work up to. So I didn't want to have the mirror in it. I wanted to focus on the moments sort of leading up to that moment. So I was thinking about what are the thoughts and emotions and observations I have before I look into the mirror. And so there's dirty makeup wipes on the counter, tissues, a little towel in the bathtub. This box is about grief resistance and release. I thought about an RV as something that is sort of isolating and small, so I thought it was the perfect way to capture that. I think for me, it's really easy for me to sort of stick myself in a mental fog because it's almost comforting because I'm so used to it and I've conditioned myself to stay there. Just being honest with myself is something that's very hard and painful, but I think that being able to let go is super rewarding and freeing. And the pain of the situation doesn't necessarily go away, but I think you learn to accept it and just be okay with the fact that it has happened, and it's just super rewarding and freeing, I think. Okay, so this is my 3rd box. It is my childhood bedroom. Oftentimes when I'm not feeling like myself, or I sort of forget who I am, I try to think back on a time where I was just purely myself, and before I started masking, before I grew up. I think this box represents how I want to behave, or the actions I want to take that would benefit or make my 8-year-old self proud. This is the 4th box in my series. I grew up Catholic and practicing Buddhism, but I really connected to Buddhism. I think that having a practice to ground myself when I'm not feeling grounded is something that's really special to me. It's a really great tool to have then and now. This is the final box in my series. It is my workspace. It's a little meta, but I think it combines all of my series into sort of one thing. It represents processing and integration. So I think that when I'm working on such a small scale, it's super meticulous and sort of slow, and it also slows down my thinking process as well. So I tend to, when I'm in this state of working, I tend to observe my thoughts rather than just reacting to them. And I think that's really useful for me. This is my Robo box. It's made out of cardboard, which used to be my favorite medium. There's something just super raw about it and playful. The robots are inspired by my favorite game, Little Big Planet. So my grandpa made this box, and I decided I wanted to make his workshop inside. This was the first major miniature project that I worked on. This is my cabinet so far. There's going to be a light inside, but the idea is that it's a jewelry box, and it's inspired by New York City architecture as well as Boston architecture. Specifically, New York City architecture is very detailed, and I really mess with detail. I like thinking about detail in general and how can I incorporate that into my work.